And welcome to Midday with Rev Don, coming to you from the beautiful metaverse, and more specifically from beautiful Danville, Illinois. And with me today is my guest, Ser Ed Hubbard, Ed the Pagan, and we're going to be talking about the Witchie Awards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at. I hope you're having a lovely day. And as you know, if you follow Reverend Don, Midday with Reverend Don, you can type your questions or comments into whatever platform you happen to be watching on, and they will appear here in our chat room, and we can respond to them directly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the chat on the screen today because I have a guest. Hello to Michael in the chat room. It's good to see you, Michael.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like this, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see.
We can do that.
Well, we can see it once we get. Yeah. There it is.
So the Witchie Awards.
So we're discussing the Witchie Awards. So it's by Modern Witches and my Modern Witchcraft University. A number of pagans who have been, authors, writers, artists, and things of that nature, and they've been running for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Modernwitch.com.
Modernwitch.com, and I think that's kind of cool. And I think they've been doing it for a number of years, and it's still open till today and tomorrow. Now, normally we've never really had anything to introduce, and I've voted it before, and they've got some great winners, huh?
Mm-hmm. We want to say hello to Renee and Kazan and Calvin and Cherry in the chat room. It's good to see you all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just put the link into various chats. We'll see where they go. And so we're having a little problem with that. And
so this is a great way to acknowledge the creators of content in our community.
Right.
The authors and the musicians and the bloggers and the vidcasters and right across the board.
And I think we should be nominating. This is the first year we've had a lot of things to be able to do so. And I think we should nominate them. And so if it's okay, I'm going to share my screen.
Absolutely.
And there we go. Why aren't you sharing? Oh, I want. Alrighty. Show. No, it won't let me share. Huh. There we go. Share. And is it there? No, that's not what
it will be. There we go.
Yeah, but it's not the right thing. That's the wrong page. I want that page to show. Huh. All right, we will turn that off. There we go. Okay, that should be sharing now. There we go, Don.
There it is.
Yeah, and so what we're doing, and so you can see right now. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they want to do that. So on this, it's a little hard to see, and I guess it won't be, but that's it. And they have a number of awards, so I'm going to shut that off because it's not working for us. Source, there we go. So here it goes. They basically take nominations until the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who introduced, and that's tomorrow.
Yes.
And anyone who's has published or introduced between August 22, 2022 and October 1st, 2023. Right? And then that's it. So all of Pagan World TV, your show, Midday with Don, all does it. And then voting for the media awards, aka the Witchies, would begin January 1st, 24 through January 1st through January 22nd.
And so right now they're taking the nominations.
Yeah.
And then in January they vote.
Right. And it's Matt Oren, Stormy Werewolf, Lord Tempest Zerkoff, Devin Hunter. And they're making clear that they're not doing it. And there's really no reward for it. All right. And we can get a plaque if they so inclined. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. And so the first one is Outstanding Book of the Year. And in this one, there's really two. One for me is Small Magics.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was Travel Magic, but I think Travel Magic doesn't really qualify because it a little bit next year it will.
Okay, so it's too late in the year.
It's after October 1st. But you know what does qualify?
What's that?
The Omnibus.
Oh,
One of the
very
most
cool.
popular books of the year.
It certainly was for us.
Right. And there's other books out there. Small Magic by Byron Ballard is one of the other ones I've that. So choose that. So Outstanding Book of the Year. If you have anybody who you think should get that, let's do that.
Absolutely.
Outstanding Author of the Year. I mean, who do you think is an outstanding author this year?
I would say Byron Ballard would be one.
I think Byron Ballard did a lot more work. And
Mm-hmm.
if people say, well, why not Reverend Don Lewis? No, I don't think you're an outstanding author this year.
Okay.
I mean, you did bring out the book. I think last year you should have qualified because you brought out so many revisions of the Crowley material, but it doesn't really qualify.
Well, that's true.
And this year you took a step back because of your health and things like that.
No, yeah, I didn't have entirely a lot of choice in that matter.
Right, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Outstanding new author. Who's that? You know, I don't know. I actually don't know who is an outstanding new author of the year.
Yeah, I would be hard pressed to name a new author.
Yeah.
I know that there obviously always are many new authors.
If you know somebody you think should be nominated, because we're all doing this in mass, I want you to do this today.
Yeah, and feel free to put the name into the chat room as well.
That's what I'm saying. Outstanding tarot deck. Outstanding oracle deck. Outstanding blog of the year. That one's interesting. I think Chris Copeland's wrote one. You know who I think might be there? Lawrence Lerner. He's been writing some outstanding blogs throughout the year.
That's true. That's true. He would be a good nominee.
So, right. So I'm going to press that one. I'm going to fill out the form here. Exceptional blog post of the year. You know, who was exceptional this year? Who do you think was exceptional this year? Outstanding podcast of the year. Now, this could be any podcast that in that period. And doing it. I'm not really sure right now. So I could use your help filling that one out. The Return of Pagan World TV is this year. So it happened this December, so it doesn't qualify. Outstanding new podcast of the year. What do you think is the outstanding new podcast? Come on, folks. Give us some ideas of an outstanding new podcast of the year. And then you get into exceptional podcast episode of the year. That's interesting. What do you think was a podcast that you could listen to and really make out to it? Now, the next one is outstanding vlog and vidcast of the year. And by far, I mean, we have so many. You should probably,
Yeah, we have lots of those.
I think Midday with Reverend Don is good. I think, Everyday Witchcraft with Alana Moon. Alana Moonfire? Oh, she's going to get so mad I didn't remember her last name. I blocked. Neil Goodman's Chasing the Endless Summer, which shot us in the inside of the festival. I think that's great. I think there's, any of the shows. I mean, we did over 20-something shows.
Absolutely.
So any one of them and all of them, if you can. If you kind of coordinate with people, you can cover more of it. Remember, this is going to be a voting contest, so we just want to get our nomination in. Outstanding new vlog of the year.
And in the chat room, Cherry says that they like Modern Witch and the Y-Files.
Okay, so Modern Witch doesn't qualify.
Because it's the hosting site?
That's what they said. Right.
It's still good to like them, though.
It's good to like them, and I think that's a good point. If we were to do this contest, we could include them.
And Amanda says that they like Mystic Intuition.
Now, is that a continuous pod or is that a new podcast?
One of the things that I've seen a number of creators commenting on is that things like these awards help them to keep their energy going.
They do.
Because, so often there's not a lot of recognition that goes with the work.
And I think that's important.
Yeah. So to have the community acknowledge your work is always very important to people.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda says, I think it's continuous now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have to remember that Mystic Intuition has gotten a vote. You know who I also like? Paul Sense at Conscious Network that we've been doing his films. He's also doing a podcast that's side by side. And so some of those people do podcasts side by side. Yeah. And I think that's really exceptional. I really wish, let me try one more time to show you this. Can I show you my screen? Let me try. Yes, I can. Does that work? Can you see that? Can that be seen? But I can't hear you, Don. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. I figured out this. All right, so you can see, as I've been working at it, you can see all these different things. So we're going to go back over it real quick. New podcast of the year, exceptional podcast of the year. I don't know what's that one. Outstanding vlog or vidcast of the year. And that what we're saying is, for us, it's Midday with Rev Don, and I told you all the other great shows. Outstanding new vlog and vidcast. Well, guess what? Don qualifies for that too, and all of our shows qualify for both of those. Don't they? All right. Here's one that I think is interesting, and for us, and we're looking at you. So this is me being shamelessly wanting to have both the Corellian tradition, as what I'm part of, and other members of the pagan community, and people that we know to be. This is when I got to find out. Exceptional video of the year. And I think of two that already off the bat. One, Adventures in Pagan Media, which we did to open up Pagan World. I think that was an exceptional video.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know another one it is? Journey to the Parliament, the movie that was presented at the Parliament.
Yes, absolutely.
So those two are our bids for it. Mm-hmm.
And both of those were a lot of work.
They were.
And they were good outcome, good products. And hello to Jade in the chat room. It's good to see you, Jade.
So outstanding magazine of the year. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Corellian Times. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Here's the next one. This one is the one I would really like. Outstanding social media contributor of the year. And I think it's me. I should be. And I did more this year than people realize. I moved entire people to open up television stations. It's not just what I did. And of course, people know about my questions and things like that.
Yes. You have the most interesting questions.
But and I've contributed to a lot of different conversations and pushing all these conversations forward. Plus, attendance to events, presenting the inside of the pagan community, Pagan World TV, Pagan World Radio. Well, that doesn't qualify, but Pagan World TV, all sorts of things. Plus, I did a lot of people's shows, constantly putting out content, over 30 pages. So I think I should be in the running for that. Yes. Outstanding music album of the year. I'm stumped on this one. How about you guys? So guys, tell us who we should be voting for. We have only, but who should we be voting for outstanding music album of the year? If you know, and if you're not on the air when this is happening, put all these answers into the comments.
Yeah.
How about you, Don? I mean, the Red Album.
My problem is that exactly when certain things came out is rather fuzzy to me at this point. So I'd have to find out if certain things did, in fact, come out this year.
Yeah, I think the Red Album.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cloud's album was good. I think Ebony put out an album. I'm not sure when she exactly did it. Sir Ebony.
I was thinking of Ser Ebony.
Yeah, and Cloud the Rapper, but probably the one that's going to be if I had to make a prediction of all these, the one that I can most predict is the Red Album.
Mm-hmm.
Was made by the community over abortion rights, but we'll see. But you can nominate anything you want. Outstanding product here, candles and incense. I don't have a clue, folks. Okay. Outstanding product of the year, oils. Again, the person I've ran into is, of course, Lori Blackman, who's done her aromatherapy, and she's done some amazing things. I've seen some amazing stuff, but I don't know of oils that were outstanding this year. I have nothing really sets out. An outstanding product of the year. Hmm? How about you? Coins, talismans? You know, there's been so many. I don't know, but you can tell us what you do.
Yes, indeed.
And the last one here, and this one I think is very, very important.
Hmm.
Outstanding new voice of the year. And I would like to put out Mary Hawk.
Absolutely.
And people go, what do you mean? She qualifies because she really didn't, her voice didn't really get heard. She did a lot of work.
Yeah.
She does Pagan Pride for over 11 years, and she's done a lot of work. But it wasn't until Pagan World TV came into place that she that she basically became a new voice in the community on a national and international level. And she continues to
Hmm.
be a voice with Witch Rising, all the shows she's producing, all of this. So if you really want a new outstanding new voice of the year, for me, it's Mary Hawk of Pagan World TV. And there you go. That's all of that. So I thought you'd all like that. So we're going to stop sharing that. And there you go.
And here we are again.
So I don't know what all of you think, but that's our thing. And why are we supporting this? Well, one, we qualify this year.
Yes.
We do so. And secondly, I think right now, as our mission this year is connections, I think that it's important. I think it's important to have connections.
Well, we've always been strong supporters
Mm-hmm.
of the arts in the pagan community.
Mm-hmm.
And that really is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because all of these things are different ways that people communicate through their particular art form, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's blogging or vlogging or vidcasting or magazines or what have you. And it really is very important as a
Mm-hmm.
voice of the pagan community.
And it's different from the other award show that's
Hmm.
really popular, IMPA, in that this is more pure in the sense that there's no cost to the vote.
Yes.
Now, I have nothing against the idea of voting for cost. The IMPAs, you have to either be a member of the organization, either as an associate or an author. And if you want to get additional votes, it's an extra $5 a vote last year.
Hmm.
And it raised a lot of money for doing musicians and stuff. And I think that's a perfectly appropriate way to do it. It's the way they do it in Hollywood. I
Yeah.
mean, those votes are not free. I mean, you get to vote for the Oscars. It's not free. You're a select group. These Golden Awards, you don't get to cast a vote just because you like it. You have to belong to a certain group. But this one allows the entire community that Modern Witch can reach, witchsabbaths.com
Hmm.
can reach. And so we're going to help them reach as large an audience so we can get as honest a contest as they're already presenting. They're presenting something pure.
Yes.
And they say this is for bragging rights. This is for just saying that to recognize, and they'll send you a plaque if you really want one.
Yes.
And so there it is. And there's another one, Appalachian Magic. There's an Appalachian one. If you go to Byron Ballard's page, that's they're accepting homage for, because Byron Ballard has come forward and she would like to be known for her being an author of the year and an Appalachian author. So what do these awards do? They give that artist, that writer, more audience, more recognition. And so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Now you've
And
won
it
awards.
also shows them that their work is appreciated.
Now you've won awards for not Corellian things, but you've won the Silver Salamander Award.
That's true. I won the Silver Salamander Award for Excellence in Pagan Journalism in
Mm-hmm.
1986.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long I've been doing that sort of thing.
And I received a tribute of light
Yes.
from Silver Ravenwolf, and when she was doing that back in 95, 96,
Hmm.
for my service to community. So that made me feel really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of award has a long tradition in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly for people who are just starting out, it is very encouraging to them to continue doing what they're doing.
And
Whether they get the award or they're merely nominated.
right. And Pagan World, we've talked about doing awards rituals, but if we do, it won't be 25 and 20 or 26.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the base for it, and I don't think we have the necessity to do it. I think there's a lot of people out there that are doing these things already. And I think there's going to be more award ceremonies.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, folks? I'm seeing, you had a lot of people talking, and then all of a sudden they seem to have stopped.
Well, they're listening now.
They're listening now. So, go out there and please, please, please nominate people, even if it's your best friend,
Yeah.
especially if it's your best friend. This is one of those moments where even the unrecognized normally would get a chance opportunity. And because there's open voting, you can actually make a case for them. And that's where this value comes in for your community. Even if those individuals, it's not for the superstars.
Hmm.
So if you have a podcast that none of us heard from, it's a new podcast, but you think it's truly exceptional, more people will find out about it during the voting section. That's the real value. 26 days of voting is going to allow us to get a lot of information out about all of the people who nominated. So getting a nomination in today is a gift to whoever that you give the nomination to being potentially more recognized.
Yes, indeed.
And that's really what one of the values to it. So you want to know what's a value to you or your friends or anything else, you should be able to do that. Who's the new voice that you think should be heard? I'm trying to think of other new voices, but I really do like Mary Hawkins' voice.
Absolutely.
You know who might be another one, and it's her compatriot, Brian Ellicott.
Yes,
And
I think he would be a good choice.
I would argue he's a new voice.
Hmm.
He did Transgender Day.
Hmm.
That was another great video that you could possibly put in there. Exceptional video.
Hmm.
He just did, and that was within the time that was allowed to.
Yeah.
That was last year. And he's done other types of LGBTQ advertising, but I think it's a new voice.
Yeah. The Queer Justice Tarot.
Justice Tarot. I don't know when that was actually created,
I'm
but
not certain. But among things that Brian has done.
I think he would be a great new voice too. I don't want to pit
Absolutely.
our two people against each other, but I'm willing to because they're competitive people. How about you guys? Do you think our people are competitive? Who else? I'm thinking Shiny Phil. Come on, folks. So those are the two major new voices that I've heard. In Abstinent, I would mention. Let me go ahead and mention Aisha Bushman,
Bushman.
right?
Bushman.
She is I'm looking to be social contributor, but she was a massive social contributor,
Oh, she was.
and
Absolutely.
this would be an opportunity for her posthumously to be recognized for that. So just because
Hmm.
somebody's passed in the year, if you think they deserve to be better, then you should.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Aisha would be a wonderful nominee.
Chris Copeland is
Yeah.
another one. I think she's a relatively new. She's again with Paying World TV. She became out as a new voice in the community. She's been around, but now she's known to people. Speak Your Own Book, which is helping people get published.
Hmm.
She's telling people how to write, how to do things, how to put out their energy. So I think that's another great voice. So yeah, I guess there's a number of people who could win that, who could be seen as a new voice. But so Don, let me leave this to you because we just got a couple of more minutes.
Yeah.
Why should people do this? I mean, really, why should your audience, your Corellian friends, your other friends do this? Why should they go out and take the time, 5-10 minutes, kind of a full cool thing, and do this and nomination when we have really never been one to push nominations before?
Well, I think there are two reasons. The first one I already mentioned, that this is very encouraging to the people who produce content to continue producing their content. If you like what they're saying and doing, this kind of award will be very encouraging to them to continue doing it. The other aspect is that by acknowledging their work, you will get more of it in all likelihood. It will cause other people to come forward and do similar kinds of work to what they see as popular and well received. So if there are particular things that you're enjoying, acknowledging them could multiply them. It's not, unlike psychic work, it's not a passive reception situation by working with anything that acknowledges people's efforts.
Hmm.
They are encouraged to do more, and I think that we very much want to see more of all of these things in our community. That this is all of these different branches that they're offering awards for, and others that aren't mentioned, are how our community expresses itself
Hmm.
in a lot of ways. It's how we share ideas on a large basis. It's how we have our communication. Years and years ago,
Hmm.
it was through the old-fashioned printed pagan zines that went around. Today, it's on the internet through podcasting and vidcasting and everything else.
Hmm.
And I think people underestimate the importance of these forms of communication. And by acknowledging them and encouraging them, we'll have more. More people will be able to talk. There'll be more ideas, more points of view. So that's why I think you should do it. Not to mention emphasizing the people you like.
There you go.
So with that, I see that we've come to the end of our time. I want to
Hmm.
thank everyone for joining us. I love spending this time with you. I hope you enjoyed this program. I'll be back tomorrow. Um, um, and we'll continue from there. So let us close with our prayer, as we always do. And I hope you have a lovely day. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we pray that we shall go forward together, hand in hand, for many years to come. We ask you to help us to communicate across our community and to share those ideas that are important to us, and to acknowledge those who share the things that are important to us. And we ask you to help us as we go forward to acknowledge the voices that we like. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you, knowing you are always with us, but from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always. And I thank you for your presence. I will see you again tomorrow, and may you be blessed now and always.